Hello, this is Lisa Hazard with the podcast We're All Psychic. No, this is not a sexy podcast of We're All Psychic. I have really bad neck problems today. But, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about because, hey, are you healthy? Are you all the way healthy or are you sick? Because there's a lot of things that you can do if you're sick and you feel really shitty about it. I'm going to tell you those things. So, for me, I used to be sick all my life. And the issue I'm having now is, well, it's a complicated issue, but with my neck, it hasn't happened in probably about 4 months, but sometimes it just goes out, and that's the simplest way to put it. I can't really sit up. I can stand for about 10 minutes. It just happens sometimes, and it started happening about this time last year. Um, so where do you keep that positive attitude when you can't move, right? Right? I figured out how. The first thing I do when I feel crappy physically and it starts to get to my head is I'll get comfortable. Get as comfortable as possible with the health issue. And then I will do something with my mind that is very much better, much more fun, much more fulfilling than laying there feeling like crap and thinking about that. What I do is I like to daydream. I've been a writer in the past. I still do some writing sometimes. But I'll just lay back, or in this case, kick back, and just daydream. Our imaginations really are our greatest gifts. We can do anything in there. We can take the pain away. There's a lot of things that I learned throughout the last few years with my health. Things in my life that are toxic emotionally can reflect in my health, and it does say that in my astrology. When you need to delve in there, I've had a couple astrologers read my chart and tell me that is very true. So which is which? Which is the emotional? Which is the physical? Like, which is what's going on here? Right? So, I mean, for me, it's both. It's both the emotions and the physical. They're linked very much, and they're linked to the energy as well. Once I start daydreaming, I will think about happy things. Sometimes I'll think about ways to like heal my body. That was when I was younger, I would imagine, when I was very sick with mental distortions, stuff like that. I had daydream that like someday in the future I'd be at like a medical facility somewhere getting a treatment where they gave me a shot and it gave me my sanity back. And I just like that daydream a lot. But what I found out when I was older is there are a lot of people who can actually take away the pain and take away the illnesses in a lot of ways. Maybe not take them away if they're like mutations. They can't go in there and fix your genes as far as I know. I've never met anyone who can do that. But a lot of these people I know who are energy workers and healers, they work with Reiki. Like I have a friend, Akasha, you've heard her on the podcast. She learned Reiki, but before then she would take on other people's pain in her body and take it away from them, and then she would have their illness, she says. And I've seen her do it. And there are other ways to heal. So, I mean, the first place to go is the imagination. You can look for something toxic in your life that might be symbolic of whatever you're suffering from. Me, it's not painful. My neck doesn't hurt. It's just I can't really, it's just like it's a bad feeling. It's not, I mean, I guess if I had to call it something, I'd call it pain, but there's not really a word for it. It's just like, it doesn't work, doctor. Usually I do a lot of exercises too. Now, exercising can help you more than almost anything. Almost. Exercising is not always fun for everybody, but if you just flex those calf muscles, just flex the calf muscles, woo, that will do a lot. See, like, you can just see in my eyes, like, the relief, just like the anxiety goes away. I mean, it doesn't feel great. When I first started doing yoga, it didn't feel great. It felt really painful because I was in pain, but that was why I was doing the yoga. It didn't make sense, but that's what the doctors said, physical therapy. I didn't want to do it during COVID at a facility, so I just taught myself. I had done yoga when I was younger, and I taught myself some new stuff. And Joni from the yoga podcast we had, she taught me some moves, especially for my neck and back where it's messed up. That helped amazingly much. Well, super duper. Fantastic. So, as far as the toxicity in my life, when that has happened, I have to recognize it and deal with it. That's harder than the pain. That's harder than the illness. Maybe. Could be. Sometimes it really is. And what I've mainly learned from a lot of health issues and trying to stay positive mentally while dealing with them and not, I'm dying, my life is over, I'm just never gonna, just bitch to myself. I don't do that as much. I mean, I still will, because, sometimes that helps too. But, just like being grateful for the things I got really works. Now, I'm not telling you that to feel guilty. Don't feel guilty if you haven't done that before. I should be grateful for what I have. Oh my God. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, as a practice, if I'm feeling like this, I'm like really grateful for something. I gotta find something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for this podcast, and I'm grateful for you listeners and watchers if you're watching this video podcast. Misty. And I'm grateful for all the people I love in my life, my family, my friends, and my cats. And kind of helps the pain a lot. And that the physical sensations kind of get better. And if I just keep focusing on those positive things in my life, that really, really does help everything. I can't impress on you guys enough how much gratitude can help if you can bring it into your life as a daily practice. I've talked about that before. But if you're sick and if you're feeling crappy and you do have some gratitude, it's got you somewhere. Well, the next thing you can try is get in that imagination and start daydreaming. Daydream all the things that make you happy and keep you happy. Daydream about that person loving you back. They do. Someone does. You would be surprised how many quiet crushes there are in the world. I guarantee you every single one of us is loved by many people. Secret crushes are real. Secret crushes make the world go round in some places. So enjoy that side of yourself, your imagination. It's the best thing you can do, in my opinion. And ask for help. And if you want to complain, because complaining does make me feel better. Maybe this whole video is just a big complaint. This whole podcast is one big angsty complaint. Not really. It's really just wanted to do a podcast and wanted to tell you I love you guys. And what you can do, ways you can feel better when your body's not cooperating. And another thing you can do is distract yourself. Distractions are great. How can you distract yourself if you can't move? Well, there's the imagination. But what if you have a different kind of illness, like a mental illness, or you have you're about to have surgery for some kind of organ removal or something. That's anxiety. I've had that too. You can get anxiety around that. So how do you get the anxiety away from your illness? How do you get the fear and the resentment and the anger and all that crap out and just remember who you are? I just, for me, a lot of times I will, at the root, other than gratitude, I just believe that it's going to be better. I just know it will. It's not believing. I know I'm going to get better from this. I'm going to stand up tomorrow and I'm going to do stuff. And saying those things makes it more likely that it's going to happen. That's where your energy comes in. Your energy. That's a cat sneeze. I don't know if you can hear that. Your energy might be able to hear that cat sneeze. Your energy your juju sense, your magic. It can keep that positivity. It can keep that attitude for you of just, I got this. I'll be better tomorrow. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to find a solution. And in the meantime, I'm going to dream about all the things I love and all the things that make me happy. And then I'll just be happy while I'm physically out. That's how I do it. And it's working. I've had a great day other than that. The laying here's not so bad. It's like a nice kind of day off. And it's a beautiful sunny day. Partly cloudy, I guess. I don't know. They don't call it partly sunny. They call it partly cloudy. I guess that's what today is. Listeners, thank you so much. I love you to death. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you get your advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. Everclear.com. And Misty, thank you. I talked to Misty on Messenger earlier today. We have a podcast Saturday. I think you guys are gonna just die for. The creator of the Queer Le Normand is going to meet with us in the morning. She is in England, so it'll be evening for her. And we're going to talk about making decks. So she's going to talk about making her Le Normand deck, and I'm going to talk about making my cat tarot deck, and we're going to show them to you. It'll be fun. We'll talk about how they're made, what we did ourselves, how we did it, and what it was like. Because a lot of magic happens. That's why I wrote her. I had a feeling she had some magic happen when she made her deck. Weird things happen. And I want to hear about them. And she did say some stuff in the emails. Something happened. So you get to see that podcast. You get to see her cards and my cards, and we'll talk about it. I'll put it on YouTube, but it'll be on Spotify first. So y'all have a very healthy, happy day. And I'll see you Saturday. Thank you. Goodbye.